pet sturgeon. In tonight's Forrest File, Jeff tells us the fishy details about friendly Fred.
This aquarium is the first thing you see when you visit the Green Bay area DNR office. Inside there looks to be a tiny shark with a vacuum for a mouth. It's actually Fred the lake sturgeon. 14 months ago, Fred was just 3 inches long. Now he's 13 inches and growing fast.
So he must like it here.
Yeah, he's happy. He gets, well, are you ready for this? His diet. We feed him frozen brine shrimp. So he gets a really good diet.
Fred is officially referred to as an educational display, but to folks around the DNR office, he's more like a friendly pet. In fact, he even has his own feeding chart to make sure he gets 2 square meals a day.
At feeding time, everybody kind of stops and looks and sees what Fred's doing. And especially when I clean the tank, everyone's real fascinated by that because he likes to come up and they call it giving me kisses. He comes up and
romantic.
Yeah, how romantic.
Kissed by a sturgeon.
Female lake sturgeons don't reach their sexual maturity until the age of 25. Males the age of 15. So folks here around the DNR office aren't really sure if Fred's actually a Fred. He could be a Frederica.
Judy says Fred is in his growth spurt right now, and that's presenting a bit of a problem.
He's getting a little bit too big for this tank.
In a show of loyalty, office workers have even signed a petition to get Fred a bigger home and keep him in the office. Well, it seems Fred really knows how to make friends. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Green Bay.
Here comes the circus. In fact, it's already arrived at the Neville Public Museum in Green Bay. In tonight's Forrest File, Jeff shows us the Circus Art on display.
Step right up and see the incredible Lady Jean swallow a lighted neon tube. That's just one of 6,000 interesting pieces of circus memorabilia on display at the Neville Public Museum through Thanksgiving.
And sometimes in one town, more than 6,000 posters would be put up to let people know it was coming. And these are wonderful works of art.
This exhibit features 44 very colorful posters. This ostrich one is from the Sells Brothers Circus in 1892. Love the wording on this one. It says, ostriches imported from Africa 3 years ago and by intelligent culture have grown to be the largest and most sumptuously plumaged birds of their variety in the world. I think this poster really worked because nobody knew what they were talking about, so they had to go to the circus and see it.
They're on loan from Circus World Museum in Fargo, which has a wonderful collection of posters and all kinds of circus objects.
The exhibit is titled Here Comes the Circus and features a wall-size original Ringling Brothers poster. Maybe you remember this Barker carousel horse. It used to be in a Nina park during the 1920s. And then there's Dumbo the elephant.
He's from a circus in Chicago, and in the 1920s and 30s, probably the mid-30s or so, he used to stand on top of the ticket taker's booth. And his head would move up and down as you see it. Aside
from Circus World items, the exhibit has something of local interest. The turn-of-the-century Bay Beach popcorn wagon. I can smell it popping. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Green Bay. Picking up the WBAY Home and Garden Show at the Brown County Arena and Expo Center. From tonight through Sunday, visitors can see everything from beautifully landscaped yards to the latest in kitchen remodeling. Maybe you're the rustic type. Log home sales are growing.
The maintenance on the outside is just a log oil every 5 to 7 years, which can be done with an airless sprayer, even a Hudson garden sprayer.
How about the cost?
Well, the cost, if you took a well-built home with some brick on it and that, it's comparable to the same cost.
The show features plenty of options to heat that home, including decorative gas-burning fireplaces.
They burn at a very low amount of fuel cost, and the cost of the log is very reasonable, too. In fact, we can put a lot of people in a gas fireplace for less money than a wood-burning fireplace.
If you prefer a furnace, you can inspect the latest high-efficiency models. Most can accommodate central air conditioning.
Years ago, where we might have sold 20, 30 units a year, now we're selling 200, 300 units a year.
I'd have to say this is my most favorite exhibit here at the Home and Garden Show. What a great place to go after all those home and garden projects. It sells for about $3,800 and it'll sit about 5 to 6 people. Chuck, listen to this. I think I'm going to be a little late.
I think you could be very late getting back, if at all. In case you're wondering, the Home and Garden Show runs until 10 today.
If you think your yard is hard to take care of, how would you like to try a golf course?
When the leaves fall from the trees and hit the fairways at Brown County Golf Course, John Regan and his fellow groundskeepers leave the rakes behind. They don't mess around. They use wind machines to combat Mother Nature. Their mission?
Basically, we keep the fairways clean and the greens clean.
So people can find their golf balls?
That's right. There are about 3-4 of us goalies, basically. But it's
Every day?
every day, yeah.
All day?
All day.
Blowing leaves?
And by the time we're done, the course is covered again, so
Really?
it never ends.
Sometimes golfers get caught up in the windstorm produced by the 12-horsepower blower, but John says many times he has rescued golfers who have lost their ball.
What do you think of all these leaves out here?
It's hard to find your ball.
Is it?
Yeah.
What do you think of that machine he's using?
It's effective.
What did it feel like when he went by you while you were out there on the fairway?
It's powerful.
And during this time of the year, Regan and his co-workers will ride their tractors from sunup to sundown, clearing the 6,300-yard course. And there's even a smaller blower, just for the greens. Well, at least it helps for a little while.
Have you ever had people come up to you and tell you, geez, you want to come over to my place and do my yard?
All the time.
Going for birdie here now. Normally, this would be a pretty easy chip shot for me, but with all these leaves here, it's kind of hard for me to make the read.
He missed it. Many of us will be boarding a plane to be with family and friends. In tonight's Forrest File, Jeff looks at some of the things we might see or wish we would see at the airports.
Have you ever stopped to think of just how many different things you can find at an airport? I mean, besides airplanes. Well, let's go inside and find out.
Aside from the bag-toting travelers, the first thing you see are agents everywhere. Ticket agents, travel agents, car rental agents, cleaning agent. The necessities like a telephone or quarter candies for a quick burst of energy. A scale, what's that doing here? Well, maybe for after the candy. For the long layovers and delays, there's a restaurant to grab a bite to eat in, a gift shop to browse in, a game of pool maybe. How about some TV? There's a plane. But what's the most important airport attribute for your fellow travelers?
A lot of signs.
So you see a lot of signs as a necessity.
Yes, right. I guess that would be one.
Can there be too many signs?
No.
Some prefer a quiet place to relax.
I look for a comfortable chair to sit down in, and that's about it.
The comfortable chair, then.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right on top of your list.
I guess that would be it, yeah.
For others, a major concern is airport atmosphere.
Lots of plants, nice and colorful, and like a shopping mall. Can I pretty much sum it up?
Sure, people can come out and shop and then catch their flight.
Well, maybe a young fellow traveling with me like you.
Where are we going? Someplace warm?
Well, we're going. I'm excited about it.
You know, it's kind of funny. I haven't heard anybody mention the thing that I look for first. My luggage. Well, everybody else has theirs. Mine should be coming along pretty soon. Gee, it's been a half hour already.
Wondered where he was. A lot of zing to a sandwich or a snack. And the best in the state of Wisconsin, the best, is grown and produced right in our own backyard. In tonight's Forrest File, Jeff tells us how they make this award-winning brand.
I would like to present the Wisconsin State Fair Seal of Excellence Award to K&S Horseradish for their horseradish in 1989.
Allison Dairyland officially presented Kevin Coyne with the Wisconsin State Fair Seal of Excellence today. Coyne's K&S brand horseradish is one of 18 products to receive such an honor. The zesty 4-ounce jars are sold at 60 small retail outlets around the Green Bay area.
We're looking to expand our marketing with the winning of this award from the Department of Agriculture. We feel this is really going to help.
K&S horseradish was started 2 years ago. This year, sales are expected to triple to 15,000 jars. Exactly what's in a jar?
Basically horseradish, a little bit of vinegar, and some sugar, and a lot of hard work.
The white-colored horseradish root is peeled by hand, then pushed into a grinder.
Now, when Kevin's making this horseradish, he wears a pair of eye goggles and a respirator. Come on, Kevin, it doesn't smell that bad. Give me that, Kevin. Let me have that.
These two oils they're in separate cells in the root, but when the root is ground, these two volatile oils combine, and it gives off one whale of a smell.
Peeling an onion?
Oh yes, definitely.
Kevin says he and his family have developed a taste for their own K&S horseradish, eating at least 1 jar a week. He says it goes great with so many foods. You've heard of peanut butter and jelly. Well, how about peanut butter and horseradish? I know Bill would eat it. Chuck, George, want to try some?
No, I'll forego that. Peanut butter and horseradish?
Sure you didn't try it?
Come on, get out of here. We'll see you at 10 o'clock.
33 weekly racetracks in Wisconsin, and a Brown County group would like to make the Brown County Fairgrounds the 34th. It's been 17 years since regular races have been held here. Racing supporters say they would be a good neighbor to the De Pere residents whose homes border the fairgrounds. The residents say a racetrack belongs in a rural area.
A race is still a race, and no matter how much perfume you put on a pile of dung, it's a pile of dung. And it belongs out in the country where these type of events are non-objectionable.
Seidel and others fear decreasing property values, noise, and dust if racing is approved. But the nonprofit racing group says the car races could add $50,000 a year to help restore the fairgrounds, and it would provide a needed shot in the arm.
Stock car racing, which is a limited user of the facility, is, in our opinion, the required catalyst that will return the fairgrounds to a fully functional facility for all users to enjoy.
Tarnoff says if his group receives county approval to resume racing at the fairgrounds, the flag could wave on a 16-week-long season in 1991. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Green Bay.